So here we go, part 2 of building the racetrack Scenics.com MG bridge from Sebring, but these, I wasn't sure what these were and how they related to it. Evidently, this is a separate model altogether that goes together somewhat like this. So this is a tower with a stairwell going up to it, which is where the flagman would stand and wave green, yellow, white, or checkered flags, but probably mostly the yellow, green, and white flags. So I think there's a black one too. I'm a little rusty on my racing history. I'm much more up on my aircrafts, but it was nice. And not there's only is there not one of them. There's 2 of them. So this is more stuff to add to the track, and that's why these checkered flags are up there. Okay, because I wasn't able to find the instructions on the website, I guess they didn't get put up. It takes a little bit of head scratching, but not too much if you built a lot of kits. Now, what I was able to figure out is that this obviously does not fit there where it's supposed to. And looking over here on their website, you can see clearly that that's supposed to face that direction. But if you zoom in on it, you'll see that. I think what you do is you cut off this little piece right here. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, because I've been moving along here, gluing parts in, and I've been using CA. Okay, I cut this off and flat sanded it. And this piece right here, which is the little MGs going up the side of the stairs, if you put it in right, it allows you to go just right and lock that part in, and then you glue it. And now I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Now, I put most of these parts together using cyanoacrylate. I call it CA. Many of us do in the hobbies. And a little bit of zip kicker so it sets off quicker, and went around and just glued everything in. As I said before, the parts are very self-explanatory. I can only fit in one way. Because there's not instructions to follow, you basically work over here off the pictures he has on the website. And it'll give you a good idea how to paint things and where the parts go. And these over here had me scratching my head. There's 2 of them included with the kit, which is really kind of cool. There. You can see there. And when you click on a picture, you can zoom in or go back out. But this will help you see where the parts go. It's not that hard at all. Okay, on the plastic parts here, I'm finding that on the back side, that they're very well scored here. The back side, they do not go through quite all the way. So what you do is you take a sharp X-Acto blade and you go down the back sides, and then they'll pop out pretty well. It takes some doing, but they do come out. Of course, nothing would do that my paint booth died on me, so I'm going to have to take this outside. I'm going to use some gray Rust-Oleum primer and paint these parts all primer gray. Boy, it is really noisy here today at the studio. We got a diesel truck outside in the back here. Some of you guys have never seen this place before, but it's quite big, and these are the front offices, and then back over here is my showroom with all my big models in it. Upstairs is another model building room, but you get the idea. We do share the space with all these people here, all these other businesses. So we've been here the longest, God, going on 10 years now. And that's my sports car, which I keep here safe and sound and not on the street. But getting back to this build, I've got the primer gray on this. It looks great, really does. Is it facing the right way? Yes, it is. And now what I've done is, and the primer gray is perfect. You put it on heavy, it's got a little bit of a gloss to it. And then I've got these parts here, which are painted red. And of course, these parts here will be inset into it as soon as this dries. And so we're going to speed this whole process up by using a drying oven, which is an air circulated oven. I got several here, among other things like that vacuum form and this vacuum form and all kinds of fun stuff like that. So these are the MGs, and of course these go inside of that. So isn't this fun? I think I'm shooting upside down again, but no worries because I have my wonderful brand new editing system, which is, if you're thinking about getting Adobe Premiere, it's been great. I've used it for 25 years, maybe more, starting back in the late 90s. But I've found that DaVinci is incredible. You can get it for free. It does almost everything, but I'm going to pay and buy it, which is like $300. You own it, and you own all the updates. Where Adobe Premiere, I've been paying, I'm up to like $65 a month now for the full suite, and I don't use half of it. I use the editor, I use After Effects. Well, as it turns out, DaVinci, for those of you making videos, also has built into it, very easy to use, After Effects program, which actually came before, I believe, Adobe Premiere's After Effects, and that it's called Fusion, and it's great. It's a node system, and it's really good. So anyway, as soon as these parts are dry, I'm going to put the MG bridge sign on this bridge. This is really a fun project. I really love the way it's all going together. When I painted it, I think it is dry already. I painted the bottom as well, just to really make it solid. I did not clean up the parts. I started realizing, looking at the real bridge, that it was pretty rough around the edges. In fact, I believe they tore it down and they're going to build a new one. But they did save the sign. Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. But it's cool to have this one because it's somewhat of a replica of the original. And next up, we will be building this. I love this sign, and of course, this is a little easier build than what I just built. And you saw Dave Kennedy, the wonderful Dave Kennedy, who built one on camera rather quickly, sped up. But we're going to put one together too and show you how that's done. Okay, probably the hardest part of this build you're going to do is getting these parts out of the plastic. Now, they come out easier out of the wood, which I suspect is why you're given both, because you can paint the wood parts white and sink them in to the sign. But the plastic parts are really cool, and I managed to break one of them already, but that's not a big problem. It'll go back in just fine. I haven't taken the plastic off the back of them yet. What I found to do is to take these over to the flat sander over there and flat sand the backs down, because they don't cut all the way through, and then they pop out pretty easily. I hope that helps any of you doing this. And one of the hardest parts is getting these parts out, and I did it. And what I'm going to do with like the really tiny ones here is just put a dot of red paint in there. If I try to get that out, I'm going to break it. But the rest of them, I can literally just take this, paint it red, and then pop these out, these centerpieces and these here, and put them back in here so it's red. I think that is, for me, the easiest way to go. Another thing is that without instructions, I didn't realize that these pieces here, which eventually this will be painted red, this has to fit in front of those. And of course, I didn't know that. So I had to take a Dremel tool and make a slot there, which worked because I already did that on the other side, and it worked out well, thankfully. So but now that you've seen this video, you will know that when you put these on, don't put them flush. Put them flush with the bottom, not the top. I put them, I put them flush with the top, and that was my mistake. But again, I didn't have instructions, so I didn't know. Okay, that went very well. My trick to fill in these areas with red worked out really well. I just put some red on this and then popped out the wood parts, which was easier than the plastic parts, and stuck them in here. And it worked out very well. I do want to weather this bridge and age it and put some dirt on it and stuff, so it looks like it's been around a while, but I'm going to do that at home on the track. And I did get one of these built with the flag. I forget what it's called. The flag tower, I think, or platform. So I got another one there to put together, but these are really nice too. Just really, really cool. And, you know, thanks for including that in the kit, Kevin. That's a really nice thing. So next thing we're going to do is my favorite Michelin Tire Man and this kit, which I think this goes together in a few minutes. And I'm going to paint and age the wood structure to look kind of aged a bit. And I'll probably age him up a little bit too, but you know how I am. I like to build ship models and stuff and age them and weather them. Boy, you should see my U-boats. So, hope you enjoyed that little video of this being built. I did run into some problems, but you know, if I had had some instructions, it might have helped a bit. I found the plastic parts. You have to be very patient with them, have a very sharp knife, and don't flat sand them from the back, because if you do it on a flat sander, what will happen, which is what happened to me, is yeah, it'll sand it down to a point where you can pop them out easily. You need to do it immediately after you pull it off the sander while it's still warm, or the plastic just sort of melts and reconnects. So it's better just to take a real sharp knife, go in and very slowly pry back and forth until you get it to come loose. You might break one or two, I did, but they go back together and you really don't see it because they fit right back into these slots and made up really well. So really great kit, really love building it. Can't wait to take this home and put it on the track, which is what we're gonna do next. So there will be a PS to this video. So here we are at my little man cave at home, the house. You know, I could have all the stuff in the studio, but you know, I work at the studio and I make things for movies and make models for people and make masks to sell and all this other stuff. So I don't want that stuff there because I'll never get to it. So it's home. And this track I've had for a while. It's been through many, many changes, and it's going to go through another one soon. I'm building a new table, and this entire track is going to lose the sidewalk effect and be level and gray and tire streaks and all that stuff. But this is the older track, and that's, yeah, Flight Sim 2020, which I'm getting ready to take more lessons on, but I digress. There is the final outcome of our bridge. Now, I have to do a little bit of work over there, put some ballast under it and stuff to level it out. And I'm even thinking maybe putting lights underneath it to light it up. I don't know. It's something to think about. And down here, I put this, which is really nice. It just adds so much to the track. Now I got to get a guy in there with a flag, a checker flag, and it does have a checker flag on it there. I'm sure Jimmy Stewart will like that. Jimmy Stewart. Jackie Stewart. Well, you know, Jimmy Stewart was in the cars and planes too. So yeah, so this was just really, really a nice finish to a very, very fun build. I enjoyed it very much. I'm going to get some people walking across it, at least have them going up the stairs. The reason that they keep these so high is so people wouldn't stand up there and watch the race and or fall over. And at least that's what I was told. So, and what racetrack wouldn't be complete without Stonehenge and cows and the Iron Giant? And some of you know that I built an Iron Giant that's 6.5 feet tall that is standing in my studio looking over us. I built it all from scratch, the way I build a lot of things from scratch. So, it's been very noisy today. Got a washer and dryer. We got diesels outside the studio, and we got the Flight Sim going there. But I hope you enjoyed this chaotic video of my building a racetrack Scenics
Sebring bridge. And I'm going to build a a big sign for one of my favorite characters on the track, and that's this guy. See you then.